Is that good? Alright, I'm gonna. Great way to open the video. Alright, hey guys, what's up? My name is Ben Brenton, and today we're gonna be doing another video of sorts, a bit different from the usual format I do. But I'll be doing a 3-in-1 album review sort of video. Well, I'll be reviewing 3 albums which I have wanted to review. 2 of which came out last month, and I've wanted to, and I have promised I would review them. Björk's Utopia and No Gallaghers High-Flying Birds. I've forgotten the title of it. I'll just search it up. I don't know how this happens. God, I think it might just be No Gallagher actually. No, it's something different. Oh, there it is. Who Boot the Moon? Who Built the Moon? So sorry about that. I have actually listened to the album. It's just, oh god, I forgot the title. And as you can tell, I'm really tired right now. And also as well, I'll also be doing Slowdive's new album. Well, kind of new album. It came out like half a year ago, like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, about that. 5, I think, actually. I don't know. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm on my laptop right now because I'm just really tired and I'm late right now. So why not do some stuff? Just relax and enjoy. So I'm not too sure which one I'll start off with. I guess I'll start off with Björk's latest. Now, as you probably most likely have heard, this album before it was released was described as her Tinder album, and practically the complete opposite of what her last album, Vonacura was. Yeah, it was Vonacura, wasn't it? Oh my god. As you can tell, I'm really tired right now. Yeah, I think it's probably Vonacura. Tell me if I was wrong. But yeah, her last album, Vonacura, Not Get, was probably my favourite song off that album, if you're wondering. But yeah, that album was beautiful. It was very emotional as well, and you can definitely tell she was quite emotional about the themes behind the album, which I won't go too deep into. I know it's like related to the breaking apart of a relationship and all that, but I won't go too into depth about it. But this album is basically the complete opposite of that. It's like bringing yourself back up and finding love once more. And this is definitely ran across the themes of many of these songs on this album. An example would be the lead single that came for this album, The Gates. And it's basically discussing how she's found somebody and she seems to care for her care for the person quite a bit. And overall, the song is very beautiful. I like a lot of the production work that Arca infused into this song. It sounds very crisp and quite atmospheric, though it doesn't over rely itself a lot on instrumentation. In fact, there is a bit of a lack of it in a few of the moments in the song. It's a really good song overall. I think I talked about it before on this channel. Initially I thought it was just okay. Now I actually think it's a really good song on this new album. Though it's probably not my favourite overall. The album discusses a lot of themes as I have mentioned, and Arca, as I also mentioned, is the sort of the main producer, though he does offer a lot of instrumentals. I haven't personally listened to Arca's work, though this album and Björk's last album, Vonacura, do make me interested in seeing what Arca has in offer. Because I do know he released an album this year, and one back in 2015, a bunch of EPs and all that. So, and I have heard some pretty good stuff about that, so I might check it out soon. But yeah, basically the best thing about this album I find is Arca's production. It's very amazing, and the instrumentals used in most of these songs are quite eclectic, beautiful. In fact, a very majestic feel. It kind of gives off the feel of what Björk is describing in most of these songs as love can be described as feeling like you're in some sort of paradise, and the instrumentals definitely showcase a very um, magical feel, if you get what I mean. But yeah, the instrumentals are really good on this track. What track? No, album. My favorite song, like in general, and probably the best example, is the opening track, "Arise in My Senses," which I really love. The very beautiful, string, not strings, wind instruments utilized. I think it's like a woodwind instrument, I believe, in particular, but very nice touch. In fact, these woodwind instruments I used across the entire album, in fact, and you know, it's very eclectic. It's not to say that Björk definitely doesn't offer anything, because she does. Her voice is still really going strong, even since the 80s, where she began with the Sugar Cubes. I mean, actually, she began in the 70s with her Child album, as I like to nickname it. But where her career kind of officially took off, the Sugar Cubes is where she was able to express and fully adjust her voice, I'd say. And this was taken into effect even more on her debut as well. Now, the issue I have with this album overall is that I feel like it's way too long. It could have some of the closing songs on this album really could have not been on here, just because I mean some of them really have some really good instrumentals. It's just they don't feel like no, they don't captivate me that much. Apart beyond that, honestly, and whilst I like Bjork's voice, there are occasional moments where it can be a little bit odd in a way. I mean, that's sort of the issue I had with the gate at first, and kinda still do, but not as much. Her voice was kind of odd, I guess. I mean, that might have to do with her age, because she is like 52 now, but either way, even at that, she still sounds really amazing on most of these tracks. Like I said, Rise of My Senses, Listening Me is another great example as well. So, that's just a short review of the first album I wanted to talk about. Overall, Utopia is definitely a great album. I really do like some of these songs, and the one I need to mention is Utopia, the title track. That's a really good track as well. Um, but yeah, overall, this album, I say if I have to give it a rating, I'd probably get a 4 out of 5, which is equivalent to an 8 out of 10 in my idea. So that's what I probably would give the album. Alright, next up we're gonna discuss Noel Gallagher's latest, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, Who Boot the Moon. I actually remember the title now. I don't think I've even saying it that well. I don't even know if you guys can understand me. like saying it. Who Boot the Moon. Okay. So this new album is following 2015's Chasing Yesterday, an album which you probably already know I really enjoy. I have it on vinyl myself. It's a fantastic album. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy it much more than the debut, which the debut is probably my least favorite album from him. Kind of spoilers. Um, Overall, I do think it's a good album. Just I don't think it was fully realized, and it was a little bit bland, though not nearly as bland as BDI's debut that year. Oh god, I don't like that album. Um, and this year, Noah has kind of gone more into a psychedelic affair. In fact, this album actually reminds me quite a bit of Heathen Chemistry by Oasis, which if you don't know, or you probably should already know, but if you don't know, that was his original band before they broke up back in 2009. But Heathen Chemistry had a very psychedelic feel, more than the previous album, Standing on Children of Giants. And the album was and the Heathen Chemistry overall was mostly great. It had a few songs, that instrumental track, I forget the name of, but the instrumental was on that song, which is boring. Like, song, no album. but, yeah, overall that album's pretty good. But, back onto Noel Gallagher's latest, I really have enjoyed a lot of the, singers overall, which, if I remember, a minute. I'll just search it up because I do forget song titles. It's kind of my thing, I guess. Just when I have listened to this album, I do promise that, but I kind of forget some song titles. Holy Mountain was the first song that came out of it, which I thought Holy Mountain overall was alright. It was just kind of basic overall, really. It just wasn't too great, but I think it's pretty good. It's a pretty good song overall. And when it comes to the other singles, Fort Knox is explosive. It's such a great song. I really do enjoy a lot of the horns utilized, and the guitar work as well is excellent. The bass sounds really good as well. The production overall on that track's pretty excellent as well, I must say. And the final single, I don't know if it will be, but the latest single, It's a Beautiful World, is probably my favourite song on this entire album. I think it's very beautiful in the instrumentation, and well, particularly the guitars. They have you can tell they played on a very low key, but they are very beautiful. And Noel Gallagher sounds excellent on this track as well. So I guess then there's a few of the other songs in this album. For instance, the track "She Taught Me How to Fly," which is definitely very catchy. I think this could probably be a single choice overall, for like a future single. I really like overall the drumming. Oddly enough, I actually quite like on this track. "She Taught Me How to Fly." Of all things to mention, yeah. The album also contains two interludes, which I wasn't actually expecting, but okay, I don't mind the interludes. But they're both of them called Wednesday, but Wednesday Part 1 and Wednesday Part 2, and they're alright. They're not really that great of interludes overall, but they're pretty good. They do serve a purpose overall. You could that I cannot say for the interludes on Gorillaz' new album, but yeah, the interludes fit fine. And I guess that's pretty much the overall feeling I have on this album. It's fine. It's very good, Pretty great actually, I must say. Not quite as good as Chasing Yesterday, but I do definitely enjoy this album quite a bit. Um if I had to give it, yeah, 4 out of 5 again, I guess, for this album. I would recommend that. I would also recommend Björk's Utopia as well, by the way. But yeah, this album I would definitely recommend. I do definitely appreciate this album a lot more than Liam's album that came out a few months ago. Actually, I think it came out like October, but that album bored me. It's way too generic for me. But Gallagher's latest, pretty good. Alright, and the final album I want to talk about today is Slowdive's latest album, Slowdive. just Slowdive. Alright, so this album's fairly interesting to me because it's their first since Pygmalion, I think that's how you say it, from 1995. Very different album, and very underrated in my opinion. I really do like the electronic infused basis behind that album. Not my favourite, obviously. My favourite is the kind of generic choice, but I don't really care. Sovaki, just brilliant, fantastic shoegaze album, which has songs like for instance Allison, which are very dreamy, quite nostalgic actually. They bring a lot of nostalgic feelings to me, and the song Dagger as well is a very excellent acoustic ballad in a way, and the song which Brian Eno helped to create. I forgot the name of it, but that's a very good song as well. The song which was inspired by those sessions, Sabaki Space Station, as well, is a very brilliant song too. And another one as well, I mentioned is Machine Gun as well. That's a great song. The Brian Eno song was Sing. That's what it was. Okay, so it's been 22 years since that last album back in 1995. And I know a lot of fans. I've recently only gotten to Slowdive just like a month before the album came out. and I recently got into them, but fans have been waiting and just interested to see what a new Slowdive album would sound like. And from what I can tell from like reviews and all that, I've heard some pretty good things about it. Some people don't really like it that much, but most seem to fairly enjoy it. Personally, I actually think this is probably one of my favorite albums of this year. I've really, really loved this shoegaze album. In fact, this year's actually been kind of a shoegaze comeback. Actually, I think we got a new War on Drugs album. That was I haven't checked that one out yet, but I thought I might mention that because there are some shoegaze elements in the War on Drugs. Um, Rides, Weather Diaries, which I have checked out, and I think is a pretty good album. My favourite song of that album's probably Lannoy Point. Um, and this one here. So Slowdive's latest is probably really good because I've really liked the production choices on this album. I forget his name, but it was done by the lead singer. Oh wait, Neil Hampstead. That's what it was. He's produced this album, and the production behind it's really good. You can actually hear pretty much every instrument utilized on this album. A good example would be on the track "Sugar for the Pill," which the bass sounds fantastic. That production, that mixing choice for the bass, really good job there. And yeah, that's probably a really good thing behind it. Another thing as well I quite like about the album is the choice of synth, which has which is utilized pretty well on tracks like Slow Mo and Don't Know Why. I think that's what it's called. Don't Know Why or Don't Ask Why, something like that. Um, those two tracks in particular, I really like the synth on those songs. Slow Mo actually is probably my favorite song on this album. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite songs of this year. I love the very open. I like the opening to this track. It sounds quite mechanical, if you know what I mean. If you listen to the track, you probably might know what I mean. Oh, I'm just saying a bunch of words for the purpose of saying a bunch of words. Um, but I really like the drum beat that's used throughout this entire track as well. Well, it's ever changing, but the drums overall sound really good as well. The bass, pretty cool bass line as well. Bass lines throughout the song. The guitar work as well, I really like. It's very melodic on the track. The song "Star Roving" is probably the closest to a song which would be on an album like "Just for a Day." It's very much inspired by the recording for that album, and very breathy. In fact, it kind of reminds me of like the sound you would probably hear whilst you're stuck in like a hurricane. It reminds me of that quite a bit. Overall, this album is fantastic. It's probably the best out of these three albums I reviewed. Very great album. I look forward to if Slowdive have anything to come out soon. I look forward to that. This album is getting a 4.5 out of 5, 9 out of 10. Very excellent album. Alright, so those are the album reviews I wanted to get out of the way before the year would end. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might try and review a couple other ones, like that Ride album I might review. Maybe, I want to try and listen to that CJ Ramone album, because I know I have heard some really good things about it. Also, if you guys are wondering my opinions on that new Green Day Greatest Hits album, God's Favorite Band, pretty good Greatest Hits album. Probably could have done with a few replacements and probably added a few more songs from Warning, like Waiting and Macy's Day Parade. But overall, it's an alright Greatest Hits album. It's fairly acceptable overall. Um, yeah, Ride, CJ Ramone maybe. Any other ones I could do this year? Probably not really. I could say I'll just leave that until the other videos I want to get out of the way. Actually, I might do Jesus and Mary Chain because that album I have really enjoyed. I might do a review on that. As well as the Father John Misty album, and a few of the King Gizzard as a Wizard albums, but that highly depends on whether or not I'll actually, watch their discography and all that, because I have no idea where I'm gonna start with King Gizzard. But anyways, that's the end of the video. I think the next one will probably be a recent pickups one, or the year-end lists. My name's Ben Brunton, and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.